famine is coming in 2008. Oh yeah, famine's coming when Maitreya arrives, and so whatever part of the world it hits first, it's just going to trickle to the rest of the world, and so just watch for Maitreya because he's the rider of the black horse, this Messiah the Muslims are waiting for. Have you noticed chemtrails are starting to make the local news in various states? I've heard about it. Because weathermen are beginning to wake up. The one in Cleveland has his head buried so far in the sand, I don't think he'll ever wake up. They've had shows and whole topics on how chemtrails are just contrails, and so they're not waking up in Cleveland anytime soon. And so, it's good to hear that other states are waking up. Ohio certainly being one of the slower ones. And a state that's no stranger to seeing UFOs in their skies. Is the Messiah John Hagee saying will come soon, the Antichrist? Yes, it is. John Hagee, Copeland, Duplantis, Hinn, all of them, all hailing the coming Jesus. That's Satan, folks. Yes. Okay, another question. It's also interesting that the stations around the U.S. have to switch to the HD digital format, so I have sensed that in my spirit as well. Everyone stay away from the HD TVs. Thanks, Sherry. Yeah, there's just something very wicked about the whole thing. And I feel there's a connection to the whole beast enforcement of worshiping the beast. Hi, Sherry. I just recently rewatched John Carpenter's They Live, and I believe he had an inside source. It was a real big throwback to the 80s, but the information there is just incredible. I believe that it's a lot like that movie right now, and even has the unveiling of the aliens at the very end. Very cool to watch again after I've awoken. Yeah, you can get this movie at video stores, folks. It's called They Live by John Carpenter. You can get it usually in the older video sections. Questions for the show. What do you think for the economic situation is? I already reported that. The economic situation couldn't get any worse than it is, folks. They're just propping it up. So how long can they prop it up is what we're all banking on. There's no gold in the vaults. It's all gone. It's empty. And so we're just living in a propped up economy now, so prepare for it to totally tank. Local TV news is starting to report on chemtrails. Says they have barium samples from spraying. Levels are 3 times the safe limit as stated by EPA. Do you think people are starting to wake up? Yeah, I just talked about that. I just talked about John Hagee. Carlton Pearson is asking for forgiveness for false teaching all these years. He said he is wrong. There is not a hell. Everyone is going to heaven. But we see more of this kind of thing from the big guys. Oh, of course. Wait until the whole thing comes out about how they were all wrong about the rapture. We're not going to heaven. We're going to build Jesus' kingdom here on earth. And now Jesus is here to help us. Build his kingdom on earth. And first he's got to get rid of all the wicked people. And so they're going to come after the people who know he's a liar. People who see him for what he is, the Antichrist, Satan on earth, and as Jesus, because Jesus is Satan's name, the Son of God. His name is Yahushua. And they've had the church worshiping Jesus for 2,000 years, the name of Jesus, which is the name of Satan. And so, we haven't seen anything yet, folks. Pat Robertson says the chip is not the mark. Well, it definitely is. And I mean, Pat Robertson has had the CEO of this RFID chip maker on his 700 Club, trying to, it's not the mark, and blah, blah, blah. Anything that goes on or in your right hand or forehead, stay away from, folks. Stay away from it. I know that you talked about that South America is probably the safest place to live, but do you know specifically what country, like Chile, Brazil, or Colombia, is a good place to live? I've heard of other people packing up and moving because they know what's coming to America. I just don't know what country. Brazil. A lot of underground bases in the mountains of Brazil, but probably one of the safer places to be. Because you got to think about all Satan's forces are going to be in America. They're going to be moving out of their bases around the world and coming to America, because America is going to be Satan's home base. And so, it doesn't look too good for us here in America. What do you think about common homes and that has turned into a planet? It's an energy carrier, folks. Jimmy Caney's doing a show, blah blah blah. Yeah, the common homes is a planet, is a carrier. And as soon as I came out with that information, amongst other things, my computer was attacked through the back door. Just virus bombed. And so I lost my information I had on it, but it's a carrier. They're trying to get to Earth, and I find it interesting that they need NASA's help. Because every time one of these things start coming towards Earth, NASA makes a special trip up to space. So isn't that interesting? Question for the show. These soul-scalped humans, which are controlled in super quantum computers, where are those computers? I'm not sure that they're being held inside computers. I've seen them in my spirit being held in underground bases in crematorium type situations where they're held in boxes in malls. There's several of these Big Brother computers, and most people know of the one in Belgium and Europe. Most people don't know that there's a backup computer in northwest Arkansas. And so they have an underground base there in northwest Arkansas. It's also the headquarters of Walmart. And there's a computer over that way that's a backup to the Beast computer in Belgium, so they're around. As you have stated, Satanists have routes, but their main thing is to get the Muslims, Buddhists with Maitreya, the Black Horseman, and the Christians with false Jesus and under the Pale Horseman. Yeah, get the Muslims with Maitreya, get the Christians with Jesus and the Jews, and then watch those two go at it. What if one goes wrong or dead too early for the New Era plans? How would the aliens respond to that? I watch for Maitreya to die, really. And then Maitreya will come back as God. And Jesus will be like, oh, he is God. This is Allah. It's really going to get stupid, folks. But deceptive. And it's going to be good because most of the world falls for it. And so I'm just going to... kind of hard to read that one. Another question from a listener. The orgone coil, when wrapped in clockwise direction, is counterclockwise when looked at from the bottom. So if I put the clockwise direction down toward the top of the muffin on top of the copper, is that correct? Thanks, Darren. I have pictures on my website, thewatcherfiles.com. Just go look at the picture. If you wrap it around your finger, start at the tip of your finger and wrap it in a clockwise direction towards the back of your finger, and then slide it off your fingers and put it in your pan. It's the best way I can say. Start at the tip, put two fingers together. I have a PVC pipe I use, and my husband has this contraption to where he's got a drill, a screwdriver inside the PVC pipe, and the screwdriver is hooked inside of a drill, and all I have to do is press the drill, and then it rolls my coil around this PVC pipe. Yeah, he made that for me. And so, but how I used to do it before I came up with that idea, actually my son came up with that idea, was to take two fingers and wrap it, starting from the tips of my fingers to the palms of my hands around my fingers, start from the tips to the back end of your hand, wrap it around my fingers, then slide it off and put it inside the muffin pan, or whatever mold you're using, so that it actually looks like it's going counterclockwise when you lay it in your mold, but you're looking at it the wrong way because actually the motion's moving forward. The motion's moving forward in a clockwise direction. If you look at the wire itself, it looks like it's going counterclockwise. But energy speaking, the energy is being pushed forward in a clockwise direction. Oh, that sounds confusing to some of you. But I have pictures on my website at Sherry or OregonBlasters.com.